Breaking news. A major update on the Vikings' defensive line strategy has just dropped. And you need to hear this right now. Minnesota might be eyeing a massive late-round steal in the NFL draft. And it could be exactly what this team needs to dominate in the trenches. But before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a single update. Done? Alright, let's get to it. If there's one thing the Vikings' defensive line is missing, it's a massive, space-eating defensive tackle to clog the middle and disrupt plays at the line of scrimmage. Right now, Travis Bell is the only defensive lineman on the roster weighing over 310 pounds, which means size is a major need for this team. Yes, Minnesota added Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave in the offseason, but pairing them with Harrison Phillips makes this unit older than the Vikings would ideally like. So, looking ahead, Pro Football Focus Jordan Plocker has identified a potential steal for Minnesota on the final day of the draft. And trust me, this name might just surprise you. Plocker suggests that Kentucky defensive lineman Deone Walker could be a massive force in the trenches who brings exactly what the Vikings need: power, size, and disruption. Standing 6 feet 6 inches, 1.98 meters, and weighing 342 pounds, 155 kilograms. Walker is an absolute monster who can anchor the interior and shut down rushing lanes with his sheer strength and frame. But here's where it gets interesting. Walker has flashed solid pass rushing ability, but inconsistency has hurt his draft stock. After posting 7 sacks in 2023, he managed just 1.5 sacks in 2024, raising questions about his ability to be a consistent pass rushing threat in the NFL. On top of that, his NFL combined performance left a lot to be desired. He skipped all speed drills and the bench press, which might make teams hesitant to take him early. But here's the catch. That could be great news for the Vikings, because if he slides down the draft board, Minnesota might be able to steal him in the later rounds. Since 2020, the Vikings have drafted 4 defensive tackles on day 3, but the results have been hit or miss. In fact, Levi Drake Rodriguez, a 7th-round pick from last year, is the only one still on the roster. That means Minnesota can't afford to miss again when it comes to drafting a defensive lineman. If they want to build depth and keep their defensive front fresh, they need a dominant presence who can rotate in and disrupt opposing offenses. Walker's combination of size, strength, and run-stuffing ability could be exactly what this team needs, and if he falls to the later rounds, the Vikings would be foolish not to take a chance on him. So now, the big question is, should the Vikings take a gamble on Deone Walker in the later rounds? Or is his inconsistency too big of a risk? With the draft fast approaching, we'll know soon enough. Now, I want to hear from you. Would Deone Walker be a good fit for the Vikings? Or do you have another defensive tackle in mind? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading all of them. And before you go, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on, because we've got even more massive Vikings news coming your way. I'll see you in the next video, Skol.